the best in this sport. Whether you like it or not, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today. Woo!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Georgia Players Section with Tavarres, King, Knowshon, Moreno. I'm Blaine Gilmer. Cheers, fellas. Cheers. Got a little tea here. What you drinking over there, Knowshon? You got a big glass of that.
A big glass of that wine I was drinking the last time. What is it called? I forget, but it's delicious.
He's done forgot. He don't even know what it is over there, TK. What you just got going a little agua, or you got something a little stronger there, TK? We can't hear you, man.
Here we go again.
I said, you think this water Playboy? This ain't water Playboy.
Hey, you gotta make it look like that for when the 3-year-old runs in the room, though, right?
Yeah, you know how that goes.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Dude.
We hope everybody is having a wonderful Wednesday evening here. We are live on UGAsports.com's YouTube channel. We will be joined later in the show by another Georgia great. We have two Georgia greats here with us each and every week in Tavarres and Knowshon. But, we got another one in Mohamed Massaquoi coming in to be a guest with us tonight. He will join us a little bit later. He has an event he's taking care of. TK Knowshon, I know he's going to be on here in a little bit, but just tell us in terms of what you're looking forward to about talking to Mohamed and kind of your experience with him as a dog.
Man, just obviously I think he's a dog fan favorite. He's somebody that everybody loved, wore that special number 1 as well. But just for me personally, when I came in, he was big bruh. Like he was big bruh, bro. He took me under his wing, myself and AJ Green. So he's somebody that I looked up to as a player, but even now, from a mentor perspective in business, he does phenomenal. We'll hear about it a little bit later. But just even now, just still big bro, you know what I'm saying? So DGD all the way through, and I'm still wondering. I gotta ask him if he F with you still, Knowshon.
Oh man, listen, that's the thing. I don't F with him, man. You know what I mean? I'm just excited that he's on. You know what I'm saying? And my thumb's doing a little boomerang. You know how that goes.
Getting some content.
Yeah, do a little boomerang action.
I should get some content. Yeah, let's do that.
But, I'm just excited to, hear from Mo. We always mess around with each other about how I don't mess with him. You know what I mean? And if it wasn't for TK, I don't mess with him. But nah, he's a brother. So it's just excited to have him on, see what he's up to lately, see what his thoughts on the Dogs and some other teams, possibly. But it's just good to have another great dog on.
Absolutely. So we have a lot of people in here with us already. Rhett Womack, thank you for joining, sir. Tim Collins and Diane Collins are in here. Andy Stowe, Andy, I'm gonna have to catch up on Dynamite tonight, man. It's the go home show before Forbidden Doors, so that's gonna be a big thing. Kevin Spell's in here. We got Aaron in here with us. So a lot of people, some of our regulars. Of course, Unc is in here, guys. Say hello to Alex Page.
Yes,
of
sir.
Course, we got to have Alex just come on and impart his football knowledge on us again sometime. That draft special we had the other night was a lot of fun. Chris Taylor is in here. So a lot of stuff going on. Low Country Dog. So y'all do us a favor, subscribe if you hadn't already, and share with your friends. Go ahead and post it on social media. Tell them we're live right now, and we're going to have a dog great join us as a guest here pretty soon. But guys, speaking of a dog great, you text me early this morning, TK, when I posted the news of Dylan Raiola transferring across the country from Arizona to Buford High School, right up the road from you, TK, right down the road from me. And it is a big deal over there when the number 1 prospect who's committed to Georgia now is going to be just an hour away from Georgia. Just talk about what you think that means in terms of for this fall and everything else.
Man, I think the landscape of football is crazy, obviously, for kids to be coming from across the country to the state that they're going to be playing college ball in. It's just crazy, but that's the business we in now. And like he going to a phenomenal school in Buford, so I'm excited. Obviously, I'm sure you and I will be at a bunch of those games.
live on location, Georgia Players section on location. Knowshon gonna fly out for one.
Yeah, 100% live on location for sure. But I'm excited to obviously see him. You kind of knew a little inside scoop. You probably should have just dropped on here. We should have went live with that thing on here, Blaine. We should have just dropped.
Listen, you gotta protect the sources. That's one thing. People tell you something, you gotta protect the wishes of people. But Knowshon, you've obviously played. It's so funny how history kind of repeats itself. You're talking about number one recruit in the country at quarterback who played under Mike Bobo. Well, now Georgia is getting a number one quarterback that's going to play under Mike Bobo. And, oh, by the way, Stafford, that previous one, him and Dylan Raiola played on the Lions together for years and are really good friends. I mean, how crazy is this? Is just a small world.
It is, man. That's berserk, man. It's awesome, man. It's awesome, but to finally, get another number one quarterback, it's been a little bit, right? I feel like it's been a little bit since we had one. We had some good quarterbacks now, some top ones. But number one,
here y'all go.
I'm just saying, don't even bring him up. But anyway, I'm talking about.
I was going to talk about Sony Michel signing with the Rams again. I wasn't even going to talk about that other Ram.
I like that as well. But it's great to see it, right? And that's just going to catapult us to that next level that we really need, and especially when he gets, underneath Kirby and the staff, and they get to work with him a little bit. Who knows? I don't think he'll play this year, right? I mean, he'll probably get a couple little snaps, right?
Oh, he's a senior. He's
next year,
remember? Yeah.
Oh yeah, senior the next year, right? So then, okay. Well, yeah.
It's going to be wide open, probably.
That's what I'm trying to think. It's probably going to be wide open at that time. But it's just good to get another top recruit that's going to attract other players, other receivers, other offensive linemen, things of that nature. So just love to see it.
Yeah, and all kinds of stuff's going on with Georgia football recruiting. Right before we came on, a kid committed, Quintavious Johnson. He's from Mays High School down in Atlanta, so he just committed. So we had all this kind of stuff going on. It's crazy how fast-paced it is for Georgia right now. And also on the recruiting front, Knowshon, I wanted to ask you, what are you guys feeding them up there in New Jersey? Another big one, another big guy. And when I say big, an offensive lineman named Nair Daniels from Bergen Catholic up there. He visited this week. He visited this past week. Guess what this dude measured in at?
Let me see. He about 6'6", 317.
Try 6'8", 370. 6'8". 370 offensive tackle prospect.
Hey, listen though, Blaine. You said something, because if you go look at Knowshon got a picture in his office, I think, running track, right? The picture, son, is crazy. Like he looked like he 30. But yeah, they eating different up there in New Jersey, son. I don't know. We lost the guy.
Yeah. Lost Knowshon here, so we'll carry. Oh, there he is. What happened, man?
My fault. Look, my shit is all messed up. I must have hit a plug. Let me get it right.
Yeah, you just look a little faded out. I knew you was drinking wine, but I didn't know you were faded that quick.
I'm back now. You know what I'm saying?
What you had a filter on?
Nah, that's just that was just the camera, regular camera for the computer. So I got it on that Elgato or something like that. What is this?
I got you. Check your audio. The mic is a little messed up too. So check your settings on that.
All right.
Here we go.
We've already had an eventful evening here. So we've talked about Dylan Raiola coming on to Buford. That's going to be an interesting aspect of things. Now, guys, last week we had to pre-record our show because of some conflicts with stuff, but we talked about the schedules for some SEC teams out there. We went with Alabama and Florida right off the bat, a spirited debate on some of the stuff, but we started looking a little bit at that Florida schedule and like, where are the wins? But now we're going to look at two teams that I think are interesting as well. So until Mohamed Massaquoi joins us a little bit, probably around 9 o'clock, he's going to hop on with us. He had an event going on that he had to take care of. But we're going to start right here. Let me change our screen, and we're going to throw the Auburn schedule up here. So, guys, the Deep South's oldest rivalry kind of going to be coming to an end in terms of a every year thing when it comes to Georgia and Auburn. Saturday, September 30th, you guys were heavily involved in those big time rivalry games. Before we break down Auburn's schedule, just talk about that aspect of it. Of hey, you're going to be losing in 2024 some of these constant rivalries, maybe, but man, what does that rivalry mean to you guys having played for Georgia?
I mean, for me, it was always obviously Deep South oldest. You know that going into it, but it was always one that kind of was huge for both squads going into it. The game towards the end of the year, they were always pretty good. We were always pretty good, so it kind of had big implications for us either way. So, yeah, man, it was one that you wanted to win. Auburn's just right there on the line of Georgia, so a lot of those guys wanted to come to Georgia, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. So they had that chip on their shoulder as well. So it was a chippy game. It was a fun game to be a part of. So it'll be a tough one to lose, I think, from a yearly standpoint.
Yeah. Absolutely. Knowshon, what do you think? You were part of that the blackout game. What is your memories from the blackout? We'll ask Mohamed about that too. He was part of that.
Ooh, can you hear me though? Am I all right? Audio straight?
Yeah, you're good.
I bet. No, yeah. I got introduced to all these rivalries pretty quickly. I didn't know too much about any of these rivalries coming down south. Coming from New Jersey. I was just coming to a great school, great people that I loved. I was like, I love it down here. I didn't really know how big every one of these rivalries are, right? So I mean, it's just another one of those games where you got to go out there and represent for the G. And you spoke about that blackout game, and it was an amazing atmosphere. We come out of the tunnel, we got regular jerseys on, I think we had the regular whites on, and then we come out, for the game, and everyone is going berserk because we got them blacks on. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Before then, we didn't pull out the blacks for years. You know what I'm saying? It was years since Georgia pulled out the blacks. So when we did that, man, that just electrified the crowd, man. It gave us energy. And then they had that Soldier Boy playing.
Yeah. It was new back then. It was new. It was the thing to do. I remember where I was. I was at that game. I was sitting in the stadium, and I remember watching this man over here jumping up and down on the bleachers, dancing on the sideline with a towel, hyping people up over there. So Knowshon was trying to get Sanford rocking that night.
Yeah.
So
it was great, man.
So with all that said, let's talk about this Auburn team that's going to be in front of us, because we in Georgia players section, that SEC is a different color for a different reason, because we cover not just Georgia but all the other teams, and it all ties into Georgia eventually because, hey, only one team wins the SEC, right? So we're talking here about these opening 3 games. If Hugh Freeze can't get it done in these opening 3 games, guys, it could be a little rough, TK. You gotta take care of business. Even going out to Cal, which is a long way out there, but Cal was absolutely terrible last year. They were, in fact, the only team I think that lost to Colorado. So those first 3 games are pretty. Those got to be wins, right?
Yeah, I think those are games that are easy wins. And first of all, I got to talk about that Minute Man. I would never want to be a Minute Man. I can't give him that.
Bad omen.
Yeah, I can't give him that right there. But yeah, three of those games, bro. Those first 3 games got to be wins. I think then you go to Kyle Field, and I think that's a test for both of them. I think that might be the first test for both of those teams. Right? Who's Texas A&M got early?
Texas A&M plays Miami, I think, in week 3. So, and they got to go to Miami. So that is probably something I think. Let me double check Texas A&M's schedule here. But I think if that is the case, where Texas A&M is coming off of a game against Miami on the road, and then they get Auburn coming into town, that could be a tough turnaround there, Knowshon.
Oh, it sure can be. But at the same time, man, I mean, I think that's something that they can get by. I feel like both teams last year.
Actually, excuse me, that's week 2, Knowshon. So September 9th is when Texas A&M, the same week that Auburn is playing Cal, Texas A&M will play Miami at Miami. Then they will get Louisiana Monroe at home the week before Auburn. So they get a cupcake just like Auburn gets a cupcake in Stanford. So it kind of balances out there.
Yeah. And, I mean, they possibly both can I don't know about Texas A&M being undefeated at that point. I mean, Miami.
They would have New Mexico at home, at Miami, ULM at home. So I think there's a good shot because, listen, Miami got drubbed by Middle Tennessee State last year. So they got a long way to go, those guys down at the U.
So, I mean, it'll be an exciting game. We're going to see. I mean, that's going to be that test, like we all been saying. That's going to be the test that both teams are going to be walking into. And then it'll get easier for Auburn going into Georgia the week after. So,
Me too, Tim.
Tim Collins says he hopes Auburn beats A&M. Tell us why in the comments here, Tim. We'd like to know that. You just hope it's a big time game between Georgia and just add to it to undefeated teams down there in Jordan-Hare Stadium. That would be crazy, guys. If it's two, Georgia and Auburn undefeated going in there, we know that place is loud. Auburn is loud.
Yeah. They be on top of you in Auburn for sure. And if it's a night game, I feel like they be blending in out there. It'd be so dark.
It is dark in that stadium.
Right? It'd be a little dark.
Look what Jody Has Your Girl said. He said, I hope they somehow both lose. He's talking about Auburn and Texas A&M. So no love lost there between Jody Has Your Girl and those two teams from the West. So they get Georgia before the bye. I think that at best you're looking TK 4-1.
Yeah. And that's sexy coming from the season that they had last year and all the hiccups. I mean, if they can do that, especially, who's going to be their quarterback? Is it going to be Ashford? Who's going to be
Didn't they have that weak ass schedule last year kind of early?
They had a lot of home games, I thought. Didn't they have like a
Yeah, they had 5 home games to start off with last year. So
yeah, so they looked like that last year going into it. So I can't give it to them.
They got Peyton Thorne, transfer from Michigan State. That's probably – I mean, I just don't see how that guy comes in to hold a clipboard when he's already taken a team to a New Year's Six bowl game with Mel Tucker and them 2 years ago. Mel Tucker, of course, used to be the defensive coordinator at Georgia under Kirby Smart and, went and did his thing up there at Michigan State. That first year really turned it around, or second year, I think, there with his program. So now it's interesting – to see, okay, that is 2 tough games sandwiched around that bye. So they are very lucky of when that bye comes because that's 2 physical games.
Yeah.
But then, guys, if you look at the second half of that schedule, they get Ole Miss at home, Mississippi State at home, on the road at Vanderbilt, which I think Auburn and Vanderbilt, I think Auburn has better talent right now than Vanderbilt.
Okay, I thought you were about to say something crazy. Okay,
they got to go on the road to Arkansas. That's tough. But then they get New Mexico State. But then they get Alabama, the Iron Bowl, in Jordan-Hare Stadium. Guys, we know crazy stuff happens in the Iron Bowl, especially in Jordan-Hare Stadium. With what Alabama's gone through this offseason and things like that, by that time, do you think this Hugh Freeze team will be different than they are in the beginning of the season, especially if they've racked up some wins early?
Yeah, I mean, obviously winning games breeds confidence for sure. So I think if they're 4-1 going into the bye, play well against LSU, maybe beat Mississippi State, Ole Miss, split with them. Definitely think they're gonna beat Vanderbilt as well in Nashville. I think that Arkansas game may be a test, but getting to that Bama game, I think, like you said, we've seen it happen to us. We've seen it happen to them. anything can happen down there. So, and we don't know what Bama's going to look like either. Like we don't have no.
Well, we don't know who the quarterback's going to be. We know what their defense. Their defense is going to be pretty sporty. I think with what they have returned and what they added, but I don't know. Knowshon, I don't think any of us know what Alabama's offense is going to look like because we don't know what Tommy Rees is really going to have. How much is Nick Saban going to let Tommy Rees do what Tommy Rees wants to do, and how much is it going to be? Okay, you're going to run Alabama's system and just kind of get used to it. I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with you. But at the same time, man, I mean, when you're looking at this game and this schedule, it's all at the end of the season, man. They're going to be well-oiled machine by that time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know what it's going to look like offensively, but they're going to have something up their sleeve and they're going to get it done. That's what they do. That's what they're known for doing over there at Alabama. So if it's Milroe, if it's Simpson, who really
Buckner
cares
from Notre Dame, I mean,
right? They'll get it done. But I'll tell you what. I know you can't put a lot of stock into those spring games, you know what I mean? But bro, it was a sloppy day in Auburn out there. But man, they didn't show nothing, man. I mean, both sides of the ball looked sloppy schematically, So hopefully they correct that, get their quarterback situation handled, and then they can kind of make a run. Because if they don't get that together, I don't know. After that bye week, man, they could kind of go down here. I think Ole Miss will be a tough game at Mississippi State. I still love them. I love my guy over there. That'd be a tough one. And then, like you say, I mean, the Vanderbilt, they should get that one. Arkansas, though, I don't think that's a cupcake game, So I think the second half of their season is definitely a stretch. They're going to have to, after that bye week, get their stuff together to go on a long journey.
So looking at this, TK, just with what we've talked about, and then we'll move on to the Florida one because we're going to have Mo coming on for too long. What's if you were Vegas right now and you had to place an over/under on Auburn's wins in 2023?
Ooh, let's go.
What we're looking at here?
This is what we talking about. Let me see. Let me take a look.
I would say I think they're gonna go. I was just doing that, looking at that. I think they're gonna go 7-5, maybe. So
yeah. So you think the over under would good over under would be 7.5?
Yeah, 7.5 over under. Yeah, I just can't see them winning more than, or I can't see them really losing more than 5 games on this schedule.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You got to look hard, but I mean, we're giving a lot of credit, I think, TK, to Hugh Freeze based off what he's done in the past.
Exactly what y'all doing.
100%. Yeah, I am. I figure. I mean, hopefully they can get it figured out at the Q, and then you got Buddy in the backfield. That's pretty nice. What's my man name? I'm thinking Tank, but it was his counterpart.
Jarquez Hunter, but there's a lot up in the air with that because of a certain
video. Little video.
Yeah,
we're trying to.
It was Auburn gone wild over there. We got to keep that. You got to watch out for that. So who knows what'll happen there? But Damari Alston is a guy from Woodward.
I say you got to put that on the OnlyFans, my boy.
Yeah, I don't think the NCAA and SEC don't. They frown upon those kind of things. It's like George Seinfeld on Seinfeld. He's like, was that frowned upon? Because if I'd have known that kind of thing was not,
I know I couldn't do this.
Yeah,
so wait a minute.
If I had known, I would not have done such a thing. Knowshon, what do you think? Over under 7.5?
Oh, I'm going under. You already know I'm going under. Stop playing games with me. What do y'all? Playing? I'm going under, bro. I see. Okay, maybe 5 for sure. A couple of these are toss-ups, man. A couple. I mean, you don't wish no injuries on them, but one injury away, man, they could lose some of these games, man. I mean. That Arkansas I'm looking at, even that Texas A&M early, could be iffy. But I'm putting them under. I'm putting them around 6.5.
Yeah, I can see it.
I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, I think their floor, if they absolutely played awful in a couple of those swing games, is probably 5 wins. I think their ceiling's probably 8 wins. So I think that's the range you're looking
8,
at for Auburn.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I'm talking if you upset Alabama at the end, in a crazy Iron Bowl or something.
I was looking. I had to count those out. Hold on now. But you went straight down to Alabama. I mean,
that would be your separator because I think there's 7 solid ones that everybody's like, oh yeah, they got.
I got a question. We just kind of skimmed over this Ole Miss game. Which I think that's a game.
Yeah, what I said is a game.
And also too, coming off of LSU, what is the health situation like? You guys know that. I mean, you get banged up in these SEC games. Exactly. Is everybody available? All this kind of stuff. So you're absolutely right. It's not easy. There's one team that's looking forward to this schedule change in 2024 a lot, and it is the Auburn Tigers because year in and year out they have a rough schedule when it comes to playing everybody in the West plus Georgia every year. That's tough. So we'll see. We'll see how they do going forward after this year. But now let's move on, guys, to Kentucky's schedule. Okay, our second team in the East. We did Florida last week. I feel like you guys are already y'all need to just clear the mechanism, as they say on for the love of the game right here, and not come in with your preconceived biases against the Kentucky Wildcats. Okay, but Kentucky opens up with as cupcakey of a roster as a schedule as you can get.
It's 5 dubs right there.
Yeah, and I'm counting Florida in that because
5 dubs right there.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're talking about, okay, let's say Auburn starts off 4-0 like we saw on the other schedule.
I was just about to say this, Blaine. Go ahead, though.
And then Kentucky could be coming to Georgia 5-0 the next week. I mean, that's big game after big game. We may see College Game Day in Athens that weekend.
I'm with it, and I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there, and I hope Knowshon there with a pen and a pad for Leary
for the Heisman.
Yeah, for Heisman, man. But that would be epic for sure, and it could very well happen. I think, especially this one, because like you said, super cakey over here. But
it is rough. I mean, realistically, you're looking in those first 5 games. Vanderbilt's their toughest game at Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
we can't forget that Vanderbilt did beat Kentucky last year. Okay, we cannot forget that. So they got a little motivation on that one. So we'll see how that goes. But
no,
what now?
I said, I feel like I'm celebrating. I'm gonna spark up a cigar. Don't mind me.
What you gonna celebrate? This dub that Kentucky gonna put on Missouri?
Yo, see, now you're being real disrespectful. You ain't had to go that far now.
Because I skipped over ours, bro.
Right.
I'm not talking about it. I ain't talking about it.
Alex Page says the truth is going to be coming in between the hedges. The truth will be coming in between the hedges.
I'm not talking
but
about
the problem is the truth is going to run up against the defensive truth over there with Georgia. So.
Yeah, very much so.
I'm not talking about it, man. Y'all know
that's fun though. It's think about me.
Next week, Knowshon, I'll talk about.
Well, let's talk about it. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like you said. 5-0. They go into that Georgia game. That's a loss. 5-1.
Yeah, that's an extra dead. All right.
Hold on. I gotta look up Missouri. Hold on. I gotta see Missouri.
I would tell you if Missouri had them at home this year, I would be inclined maybe to lean towards Missouri, but I think being at Kentucky is an advantage.
They come to the bluegrass.
That's gonna be tough, man. But I mean, that's a great first half of the season. If they can come out of that 6-1, which they probably will, that's a great first half, man. That's a great first half. Get your bullets back reloaded, you know what I mean? Because you got that bye week right there. And then, you
get Tennessee at home.
Right. I mean, this is a favorable schedule. I can't lie.
And you get Alabama at home. This schedule could not set up better.
Yeah. I mean, if he don't win the Heisman, he ain't gonna win no other years.
Nobody. Alex and Tim and Andy, I want y'all to all go back. Chris, everybody go back through the archives and tell me where I've ever said the word Heisman and Leary together. I never have.
I feel like I've heard it.
The truth.
I feel like I've heard it. That was before he got his books right.
And not only that, you might not, try to mention it on air, but you sure as hell did it off air. So we gotta watch it. You off air talking.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. See what happens with them in that first half of the season. But Knowshon, any update on Mo? We getting close.
Oh yeah, let me hit him up.
Yeah, see what's going on there.
You know what I'm saying? So let me see here.
See what's going on there now. TK, this last part of they kind of get we all feel like Mississippi State's going to be down a little bit between that Tennessee and Alabama game, but it's crazy that they get all their really big games except the Georgia game at home this year. Florida at home, Missouri at home, Tennessee at home, Alabama at home. Mark Stoops is living right up there, TK.
Yeah, he's doing his thing for sure. Definitely living right. Got the defense playing right, which is why I think having this home game against Tennessee will be huge for sure. No miscues with how fast they play, things like that. And then, man, I really like this schedule set up for like I give him 8.5 win season, bro.
Let me see there. Hold on now.
I'm just saying.
What's the over under? Yeah,
I really want to go 9. But
yeah, I've been telling you that. I've been telling you guys this. This is the best offense that Mark Stoops has ever had at Kentucky.
Why you bringing up old shit?
I'm just saying. We're talking about the schedule.
So nah, bro.
So we'll see.
It's an 8.5 for me.
Let me see. Yeah, check that.
Over and under 8.5. What we're gonna do now, guys? We're waiting on Mohamed to join us here. So we've talked a little bit about this schedule. Yeah. We're going to open it up for a little bit of a mailbag section here in the you ask us anything. So here we go. It's mailbag time. All right, so mailbag time in the comments. Go ahead and put any question you want for TK and Knowshon, and we're going to try to answer them rapid fire for you here. I'm gonna ask you guys, since we have a minute, and we haven't addressed this yet. Oh, never mind. We don't have time for the mailbag anymore because we just got our man. He's going to be joining us here in just a second. It looks like it's popping up. It looks like it's popping up, but he hadn't come on the screen yet. You guys, while we're waiting on him to here we go. Mohamed Massaquoi with us. Mohamed, we are live, man. We appreciate you.
What's up, man? What's up?
What's up, bro? That boy got a clean shave going. You see him, that boy looking smooth.
He do look good, man. What's that jersey you got on right there, Mo?
Manchester City, you know what I'm saying? Got to represent for him.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Got to represent for him.
What are you doing with your hair?
First of all, let's not get on me right away, okay? I don't F with you. I let it out today. You know what I'm saying? Let the curls go. Show my Hispanic side. You know what I'm saying? A little something.
That's that Moreno.
Okay. TK, what you doing with your hair?
Man, you already know. He need to share.
Yo, shut up.
One of y'all boys need to share.
You're gonna do a bulldog to bulldog hair transplant over there. We're gonna see what's going on.
Do something.
Hey, I love, man. Appreciate you joining us, man.
Yeah. What do you want, man? You got me up all past my bedtime.
This guy's crazy.
He says, "What do you want?" Go ahead, TK or Knowshon, whoever wants to lead it off. Hit my man Mohamed up with what you got.
Shoot, grab it. Man, I had a bunch of questions, bro. But shoot, first of all, like Knowshon said, thanks for coming on. I wanted to give you opportunity to let everybody know what you had going on right off the bat. We were talking about that a little bit pre-show, but I just wanted to let you talk a little bit about what you had going on from a business perspective, post-playing, and things like that.
Yeah. So I guess I'm technically an organizational psychologist right now. And so I'm going into organizations, working with leadership teams, trying to understand how do they align their people strategy to their business strategy. A lot of that, obviously, you know, we've been on teams our whole life. We've been in high performance environments, been aligned as a unit. That doesn't happen as you would expect in a lot of organizations. And so a lot of my work is helping them sort out those problems and figuring out how these different departments function with each other at the leadership level so that it bleeds down to the organization. And so athletes do sometimes go to class. You know, I don't know about Knowshon. I think TK was in class. The receivers went to class.
Yeah, we was in there. You know what I'm saying? We went to class.
I don't know what the running backs are doing.
No, but that's dope. How does that come about, Mo? How do you find your way into something like that? Obviously, you're passionate about it. You went to school for psychology, and to go to, it's not common for a lot of folks to, you know, be in their field that they went to school for. So to be doing what you went to school for is kind of dope. So how did that even come about?
Yeah, so I studied psychology in undergrad. You know, we had a good run while we were there. So we were on a high performing team. I went to Cleveland, and we weren't necessarily a high performing team, but
you were your own psychologist during that time.
But had to be.
I needed a psychologist during that time. But we had a lot of talent. We were just super dysfunctional, and so that was something that always was just confusing to me. And so when I retired, I went into finance for a little bit, and the same question kept coming up: is like, how are people functioning in organizations? So went back, got a master's in industrial organizational psychology, just to kind of understand the technical side of what is taking place. How do you actually measure what's happening in an organization? And then the art of it is how you design and create influence at the leadership level and structure so that it bleeds through where it needs to bleed through in the organization.
I was going to follow up on that. Do you think, Mohamed, that with the organization, I know you work with a lot of businesses and stuff, but do you see yourself ever saying, okay, I've got that itch. I've been away from the game too long. I'm going to tailor my talents to go work with specifically a sports organization, try to help them win games and get back in mind?
UGA don't need me.
They don't need that.
Kirby got it figured out. You know, as passionate I am from an athlete standpoint, I enjoy just being a fan now. And so in trans.
Come on now,
Mo forgot to pay the internet bill.
Now I'm gonna get on them now for that.
Y'all boy, cut out.
Where you are?
Hey.
There you are.
Knowshon messing up the Wi-Fi with that.
We lost you there for a second. You said you enjoy being a fan.
Nah, I prefer to be a fan at this point of just watching, you know, without any really emotional attachment to it. I've been around sports in that capacity for 20 years. And so now doing other things, I think a lot of athletes just kind of like to spread their wings in other places.
Knowshon, I know you got a question to bring him back to his playing days here. So go ahead and hit him with that.
Yeah, see if you remember. You remember your game-winning catch versus Georgia Tech? You're the game winner, baby.
Was that the game you weren't blocking? Was that it?
Oh, this is hard. We're going to be going back and forth like this, everyone that's listening and watching, you know what I'm saying? This is how we do. Yeah, I probably wasn't. First of all, talk on that one, speak on the game winning catch with Munson calling it. And then secondly, talk about how I put you in those bushes on that halfback pass, too.
Oh, man.
Put you all up in the hedges. All up in the hedges with that halfback pass. It was on target, too, over the shoulder.
I don't know anything about what you're talking about right now. But now, man, there's so many memories, man. You know, obviously that was 2006, and obviously anytime you get a chance to beat Tech, it's enjoyable. But now, even being, you know, almost 20 years removed from that particular play, just the excitement of, well, not 20, maybe like 15.
It's not quite 20 yet. It's getting there.
Yeah, not between 15 and 20. you know, just being able to share those moments with people that now you can still have a relationship with, laugh and joke, and not even skip a beat. You know, this is how we used to joke around when we were really 18, 19, 20. And so that theme would be here for a long time.
Bro, the craziest thing is neither one of y'all can throw, bro, because obviously you overthrew Mo. And bro, every time we ran the receiver pass, bro, Mo would launch the ball, bro. Like, he would just
you want to know you want to know,
bro.
But do you want to know a fun fact though?
Let's hear it.
You want to know I got the highest completion percentage in the NFL. I'm 1 for 1, 100%, and a touchdown.
That dude,
and a tutty, and a tutty.
I'm just saying, I should have switched positions. We had this guy Matthew Stafford. I think I could have challenged him.
he was out there spinning that thing.
I put that thing on the numbers. Chill out.
I wanted to ask you, Mom. I was going back and watching some of your highlights and stuff from Georgia Day, and I would see, you know, even against like Tennessee in 2008, that Georgia Tech catch in 06 that you're talking about, it seemed like you and Stafford. And even the blackout game catch against Auburn, it seemed like late in routes sometimes you would find windows or break away from guys and stuff. Y'all were pretty in sync, like that kind of stuff. Just talk about the connection with, hey, he would kind of maybe do his head a little bit this way, and you'd go find the area, and then he'd find you. So talk about what that was like, you know, playing with him and that connection you guys had.
No, I think I was just a benefactor of, you know, world-class talent, honestly. I mean, whenever you get a guy like that can, you know, really stretch all 100 yards of the field, 53 wide, you're almost always open. And so, obviously, he did a lot for a lot of our careers, and it's just exciting to see what he's doing on the West Coast right now. Phenomenal human being, phenomenal arm talent. He's another guy that just tons of great memories. And so, being out there, you know, you're literally always open. And so just staying alive, watching wherever Seven's going to put the ball, and expecting it to come on the money.
Hey, I just saw someone talk about slants. Remember when Mo we got to talk about that hit now.
Yeah.
Got to talk about that hit, boy.
That was in my questions. Listen, Mo. Bro.
He said.
Listen, bro. Listen.
So listen. I'm our bye week. So our bye week was the week after that hit, and I'm walking through the airport, and my boy Hakeem, like, he'd been checking on me the whole week or whatever, coming out of the concussion, and he was like, "Man, you seen the Sports Illustrated cover?" And I'm like, "Nah." And as I'm walking through the airport, I take a look to my left, and I see on the newsstand me just getting like torn out the frame, and I'm like, damn, they got me out here bad.
Bro, it's messed up.
Yeah.
I think about that defense, though. That defense was just insane. Ryan Clark back there, Troy P back there. Everybody back there.
Did he not have Porter as well, Joey?
They had everybody. Their defense had been attacked.
Brett Hughes, bro, they was out there hitting.
Listen, you're playing in this division where you're seeing the Ravens and the Steelers, and they got 20. Now, why would you?
Why would you? He said, "Why would you?"
That's what we're talking about, fellas.
Why would you?
That changed the trajectory of my career for sure. Like, my body just could not take, you know, hits like that no more.
Have you seen what James Harrison is doing right now at the age that he is at? He's still working out like a madman. It just shows unbelievable what these NFL guys that you guys face week in and week out, and to have the career that you did in the NFL, second round pick coming out, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it just shows what elite athletes you guys are. You three that I just get to sit here, you know, guys just played and coached a little high school ball. It's just fun to talk to you guys about it. I mean, that's an elite level that you guys get to play against, you know, Mohamed, week in and week out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're 1696. You know, you're one of them that they get a chance to do what only a few people in the world can do. And I think I got a much more of an appreciation of it now, being removed and seeing the modern day athletes of how fast they are and how they move. Like, when you're in it, you don't really recognize it. That it's the norm. But you go back and you're like, good Lord, like these kids
moving, boy, getting out that thing.
Why don't I have a Oak jersey either?
I ain't got one either.
You owe us a jersey.
You ain't asked. You ain't asked.
He said you ain't asked.
They want that soccer jersey right there. You just sign that one for them and bring.
I want a jersey.
They'll take that one.
So I will take that, bro, and a hat.
So TK still owe me a hat. He gave me a hat, but he has my golfing hat from like 2008. I still haven't seen this hat yet. So when I see him, it's on site. So
He said, so when I see him, it's on site.
I wanted to ask you, Mo, what's it like for you now? You said earlier, hey, Kirby don't need my help. He's got it rolling. What's it like for you now? I looked back on Twitter. I saw you post something on January 9th that Knowshon will be a big fan of. He said the mailman delivers on Mondays was your tweet when Georgia won the national championship this year. And, you know, what's it like for you watching Georgia, like you said, as a fan, a guy who played in the program and now to see him win back-to-back national championships? Just talk about that.
I mean, it's wild. Like I feel like a big brother, like an uncle. You know, I came in 2005, left in 08, and so it's a lot has changed. The program has evolved, and just really being a fan of it. I live in Atlanta. You know, it's obviously a Georgia town, but there's a lot of other schools. So to be able to have bragging rights and get the monkey off our back of finally winning one and winning two and hopefully winning three, which hasn't been done. It's exciting. It's exciting. I'm a fan of what the program's built. As someone that's gone through it, it makes you proud that your school is continuing to trend upward, both athletically, academically, so that it holds weight when you leave. So the mailman definitely delivered on Mondays.
They win another one, Mo? They win another one? What's up? I mean, what you think?
I mean, I think so. I think you have a seasoned group that is motivated. We haven't had some of the challenges that other people have had as far as being distracted with NIL. The model is working both in terms of team success and individual success. We got the titles. Individuals are going to the draft. This new crop kind of has a formula to follow that if they do, I think things turn out really well for him. I'm a huge fan of Carson Beck. Every time that he's got a chance to play, he's played well. Usually you see guys of his caliber transfer out when things get difficult. He stayed. He's put the work in. I think he's going to have an explosive year. Having Bobo back, I'm excited. He's the reason our guy who got up to got me out of North Carolina to come down to Georgia.
That was out there cheating.
So
it was out there cheating up there, Joe.
Bobo.
It was out there cheating.
Bobo.
Oh yeah, they were. Joe and all them, man. Come on. We gotta get Joe.
Relax.
Yeah, they got you there. Real quick before we let you go, you've been more than gracious with your time. We're gonna ask. We always try to ask a couple of rapid fire questions. Who, just off the top of your head, who was your funniest teammate at Georgia?
Probably Knowshon. Like that fool.
Maddest you ever saw Coach Rick get?
Oh my goodness.
Y'all remember that one day, you know, Coach Rick, he don't cuss, but there was one day where he was like super tight and he said something like, I don't give a crap a damn. And everybody
I don't give a crap a damn.
A crap a damn.
I'm like, what is that, Coach? And like, it was supposed to land and he was supposed to be serious, but everybody was just giggling and, you know, laughing about it. So that's probably when it was. And then y'all remember that day he came out with the beanie and he had like the big oversized pants and he was like trying to be super cool, and everybody was like, "Coach, what you doing? You gotta relax."
He said, "Coach, what you doing? Coach, what you doing?" Yeah.
I thought grab him like this.
Yeah, shout out CMR though.
That's all right.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say the James Franklin deal. I don't know if that was when you were there or not. Him and James Franklin got into it at Vanderbilt on the field. TK was talking about that other day. I don't know if that was past time or not.
Yeah, Mo was gone.
Mo was in the league. Okay.
No.
Now the other thing I wanted to ask you is favorite place to eat in Athens when you were there, when you were a player. Where was the go-to spot?
Choo-choo.
I was about to say choo-choos.
Oh, choo-choos.
Choo-choo.
Is choo-choo still in Athens?
Man, it's gotta be.
I hope so. Because I'm
gotta
going to
be.
there next time I'm in town.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't know what they were putting in the food.
TK, I know you want to ask him something before we wrap here. What do you got, TK?
Nah, bro. I obviously thank you again for coming on. Appreciate you for coming on. But any foundation or anything like that you want to shout out, or anything that you have going on that you want to shine some light on, it's your chance to do it, player.
Yeah, so I'm on here because of TK. I told Knowshon if it was just him, I wouldn't have showed up.
He did say that. But it's all good though.
So his foundation is the Anti-Knowshon Foundation.
That's funny, dog.
But nah, one of our own, Malcolm Mitchell, is doing really great work with Share the Magic. I'm on the board of that. So it's promoting youth literacy, giving these young individuals hope around the country, around the world. So if you want to sow good seed, definitely invest in Share the Magic. Also on the board of Ian's Friends Foundation. It supports kids with brain cancer, and so developing a lot of money, a lot of research to eradicating kids' brain cancer is one of the leading causes of kid death. And so if you're interested, please support IFF. So Share the Magic and IFF. Would love for everyone in the Dog Nation to be a part of that. Meaningful work that's going to a great cause, hopefully helping the next generation live meaningful lives. And so appreciate that.
Knowshon always gives me jobs on productions to do, so I'm gonna put him in charge of tweeting those out after the show. Knowshon, that's you. You gotta tweet out those foundations after the show. So we'll
follow up with him tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll follow up tomorrow. Hey, thank you so much, Mo, for coming on. We greatly appreciate it. And we'd love to have you back on during football season sometime. Just talk some Georgia football.
Yeah, for sure, man. You were good guys. You know I love you. TK, you already know how we are.
Yes, sir.
Man, y'all keep it up, man. Good seeing y'all.
Appreciate
you too. Love you, Mo.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
With you.
All right.
That boy over there smoking that cigar, boy.
So, guys, that was Mohamed Massaquoi, and we've been on here talking Dylan Raiola. We've talked SEC schedules. We had a Georgia grade on, so we will catch all of you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining us here on Georgia Players Section for Tavarres King and Knowshon Moreno. I am Blaine Gilmer. We'll see you guys next Wednesday night.
The best in this sport, whether you like it or not, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today. Woo!